For today's 10-minute brain break activity, we're talking strength. It's Thursday, and on Thursdays, we talk strength training because everyone needs to be strong. And we're not talking like world strongman or even bodybuilder big, but having a strength that allows for activities of your daily life to become easier. You don't have to rest. You can accomplish more, like carrying the groceries in one trip. Those are all strength activities or strength things that we should be able to perform simply and easily. So we do want to create children who are strong, all right, or help children become strong. Life becomes easier. Just like movement is life, strength makes life easier, all right? So what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about how you can change and alter and manipulate your joint movements, your joints such as your shoulder, your spine, your knees, your hips, your ankle, how we position those and the range of motion that we put them through will vary the response our body goes through, okay? So that'll lead to the differing adaptations. Based on your goals, you could manipulate your adaptations so that you maybe get a bigger chest musculature versus a bigger arm musculature, so say the back of your arm. Understanding joint movements and the muscles that move the joints. Muscles lengthen and shorten, joints move. So like my wrist is moving, that's a joint, okay? The muscles that move it are the forearm, okay? My elbow right here, the bicep moves it this way, the tricep moves it this way. Understanding those is important because small differences go a long way. All right, so easy example is a push-up. All right, so if I am in this position, the normal natural push-up position, and I press out like this, I'm at an angle that makes the joint movement more about the shoulder, meaning it's working more of the chest muscles, the pectoralis major, all right? Now, if I bring it super close in, now I'm working at an angle that's more about working the elbow. And although the shoulder is still moving, the greater range of motion is being traveled through from the elbow, meaning it's for the back of your arm, AKA your tricep. So if you're looking to do bigger arms, tricep push-ups would be the better choice. If you want a stronger chest, regular and or even super wide push-ups would be more about developing your pectoralis, all right? So part of this is manipulating and playing. Part of this is also learning from experts and or working with an expert like a personal trainer in your area. Or if you're listening in on our school program, we actually offer courses on learning about manipulating movements. We also offer online programs where we can work with you to help you understand this better and create programs for you and your kids. Okay, if there's no experts to work with you locally, all right? We are here to help because it's very important to understand your movements, all right? Another example is lower body, okay? So 3 major movements of the lower body are squats, deadlifts, and lunges. All 3 of them perform movements of hip extension, knee extension, all right? So let's show you what those are. So when I'm raising up out of a chair and I'm coming up from here, which is essentially coming up out of a squat, I'm getting knee extension and hip extension. Extension being an increasing of the joint angle. Flexion being a decreasing, all right? So when I'm here, if I look at my hip right here, as I go down, that's decreasing, right? As I come up, the angle of this joint went from about 90 degrees all the way up to about 140, all right? So you understand the movement. Now how can we change it so that it slightly differs? If I go super wide, I can make it more about the inner thighs because those muscles are working through a greater range of motion. If I go more narrow, I get greater range of motion of the knee right here, meaning it's more about the quads right here. Now, let's say I'm doing an exercise such as squats. Squats are called a quad dominant exercise because the range of motion that is greatest is the knee, meaning it is quad dominant. If I'm doing an exercise like deadlifts where I'll actually start at a little bit lower position and start the hardest part, making the hips work the hardest. It's more of a hamstring and glute exercise. That's why some people prefer deadlifts, because it's more hamstring glute dominant. Lunges, because there's no tilting of the pelvis, are hamstring dominant, but less so glute dominant, because we have manipulated out the movement of the pelvis. So during squats and deadlifts, the pelvis is moving, and those are attaching or being moved by the gluteus maximus, which is your big booty muscle. During a lunge, the pelvis stays neutral. It doesn't tilt forward and backwards. Therefore, it is not being activated to any great degree. Knowing how to manipulate your movements is very important. All right? So, how you change those up determine the future adaptations that your body will undergo. Knowing how to do that before your workout will allow you to think about, how do I want to create this workout? Okay, another example is your elbow. If I'm doing an elbow curl or a bicep curl like this, because of the position of my forearm, I'm making it more about here, the biceps brachii. By manipulating my joint and rolling the wrist over to here, now when I do it, it's more about the brachioradialis. That's why some people do hammer curls, this type of exercise, versus bicep curls. You should include both, but some people need to work on their deficiencies, right? So working on your deficiencies changes up what you're trying to work on. Improving your strength also determines what you're trying to work on. Those are simple and easy examples of understanding your joint movements, and how your muscles play the role in your joint movements will help you and your students to determine what are the goals of and how we should be performing our joint movements and our muscle actions. And by manipulating through increased range of motion or decreased range of motion, we can adjust, adapt, and manipulate our results. All right? This is a level 1 learning of musculature. There is more involved, and if you have questions, we're here to answer. But start to think about, start to work out and manipulate and see how you feel. You will feel it different during push-ups versus narrow grip push-ups. So start to play with those. All right? Go through those examples, see how you feel, and you'll start to understand. You'll get the wheels a turning of, oh yeah, well, this is slightly different than that. And we do want to work through differences so that everything gets improved. All right? That's all I have for today. If you do have any questions, be sure to comment on our school program. Remember, we are at SchoolSKOOL.com/Stronger Together Family. It's our free community. It's the only place where we post all of our information, all of our learning tidbits, all of our knowledge bombs, and where we host our courses to help you in skill development, physical literacy, strength training, fitness, and all things to do with physical education and physical literacy. All right? And lifelong fitness. All right? That's all I have for today. You guys go out, be awesome, be amazing. Thank you very much.